Hey folks, in this video we're going to be learning how to mimic the join mechanism from a traditional SQL database using Google Sheets query function. So this solution only works for Google Sheets. If you are working in Excel, I apologize, but this video will not be relevant to you. What you will need for this lesson will be a set of data which has a similar value as another set of data. So the way that I've structured my environment is I have a data tab. Additionally, I have a lookups tab. The similar connection point between these two tabs is the name column. So the names in the lookups data set matches names that exist in the data lookup set. So Google Sheets has a function called query. I think it is the best function in Google Sheets because it is very powerful and very easy to maintain. One challenge that I've experienced with it is that it does not have a native join operation similar to a traditional SQL relational database. So if you're using SQL, you have the ability to join two tables together if they have a common key. You can't do that natively using Google Sheets query function. What I'm going to demonstrate for you today is one way that you could go about using a single cell in order to return a result that combines two tables together. This lesson is going to presume that you have experience with Google Sheets query function, the VLOOKUP function, the ARRAYFORMULA function, and constructing arrays. You can still follow along if you don't understand those concepts, but this video will not be diving into how those mechanisms work. I have additional videos that I will be linking up in my description if you would like to learn more. I'm going to begin by going to an empty tab, which in this case is sheet 3. I'll begin in cell A1 by hitting an equal sign, which then will allow me to access the query function. The query function has two mandatory arguments and a third optional argument. The first argument is the data set that you want to use. So I'm going to go to my data tab, and I'm going to select the entirety of the range. So it's data columns A through E. I'm going to move to the second argument by using a comma. I'm going to hit the space key. I'm going to add double quotes. I'm working on a Mac, so I'm going to give you some hotkeys. If you're on a Windows, I apologize because I'm not familiar with that environment. I would say that every time that I say use the command key, it's probably use the control key, but I don't know that for certain. I like to have line breaks when I'm using Google Sheets because I find it's easier for me to read. So you don't have to do this, but I am going to follow along with line breaks. So right now we have our data range, a comma, and then a double quote, which is where we will enter our SQL syntax. I'm going to hit Command Enter twice, and then I'm going to begin by using the select command, and then I'm going to use an asterisk in order to return all the results. I'm going to hit Command Enter, and I'm going to say where E is not null. So basically that is going to exclude any rows that do not have a name. I'm going to hit Command Enter twice. I'm going to add double quotes. That has concluded my SQL syntax. I'm going to add a comma, which moves me into the final argument, which is optional, which is whether or not I want to include header rows. I do, so I'm going to enter 1. I'll hit Enter. And now you can see that we have returned all of the results from our data tab. So in the past, if I wanted to join two data sources together in Google Sheets, I would leverage an array formula with a VLOOKUP. The reason for that is because array formula allows you to return multiple results for rows and columns. So I would go over to cell F, I would hit equal sign, I would do array formula, I'd hit Command Enter, I'd use an if, and I'd say if A through A equals A1, give me header name. I do a comma, and then I do if A through A equals null, I do a comma, and then I do, I apologize, I have a typo there. I do comma, double quote. That way, if it's an empty cell, it gives me an empty result. And then I do comma, I'd hit enter, I'd use if error, and then I would do VLOOKUP, and I would do E through E, comma, I'd select my lookups range, I'd select lookups A through C, so I have all the results. I'd do a comma, I'd return a 2, comma, false, and then I hit enter. And now you can see we're returning all those test results. Now, this is fine, but the problem arises if you start to refactor your code. So for example, if we start doing, like, instead of select star, we do select E and A, then it breaks, right? So we have a bunch of blank columns here. We have an additional nested set of logic that exists in our results. It's just not ideal. So I'm going to hit Command Z, and I am going to pull this up on screen again. So what we're going to do is we are going to learn how to nest this logic structure within cell A1. Now, obviously, you don't have to do this. And frankly, if you find it to be a poor solution, I would appreciate if you reached out in the comments, number one, to let me know, and then number two, if anybody stumbles upon this video, I want them to understand what they're getting out of it. So again, the reason that I think it is more worthwhile to do it in cell A1 rather than having additional functions throughout the range is because it's more maintainable. If you want to change something, you do it all in one spot, and then you don't have to go treasure hunting for functions. So the way that we're going to refactor this is we're going to select in between the equal sign and the query. I'm going to hit Command Enter in order to get a line break. I'm going to hit Command Enter to get another line break. That way it's a little bit more readable so that we can see all the various pieces, because we are going to have several components. We're going to begin by adding a set of curly brackets. So we're going to do one at the beginning after the equal sign, and then we're going to click at the end of our query function. We're going to hit Command Enter twice, and we're going to add another curly bracket in there. Curly brackets in Google Sheets allow you to construct arrays. So you can build rows, so you can stack values on top of each other, similar to rows, using semicolons, and you can put things next to each other, which mimics columns, by using commas. So what our aspiration is to add things next to our query. Therefore, we are going to be using a comma so that our curly brackets make that comma add things to the right of our query. So we're going to select after the ending parentheses of our query function, and we're going to add 2 line breaks using Command Enter. So you'll hit that twice, add a comma. I'm going to hit Command Enter again. Now, you don't have to have all these line breaks, but visually, I want you to be able to scan this easily. That's my intention here. I apologize if it's not accomplishing that. So the first thing that we're going to do is leverage our array formula. We're going to hit Enter, and then we are going to be using VLOOKUP. In order to establish our search key programmatically, we are going to be leveraging the identical conditions of our query statement. So we're going to highlight our query, we're going to copy it, we're going to hit Command Enter after VLOOKUP, and we're going to paste our query in there. However, instead of returning all the results using an asterisk, we are going to just return our lookup value. So in this case, it's column E, which is name. So now we have a list of names that we want to look up. Now, an additional thing that you might want to do is add in an order by statement in order to make sure that everything is the same. But with that being said, this is going to return the exact same results as your query. So instead of returning all 5 columns that I have here, it's just going to return column E. So that'll give me a lookup value that I can use in my VLOOKUP. We're going to add a comma to move to the next portion of our code. So I'm going to hit Command Enter, and I'm going to go to my Lookups tab. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. So you'll notice here I selected column C, and it only returned C1. So I'm just going to delete C1, and I'm going to do A through C. And now I've selected the entire range. I'm going to use a comma, and I'm going to hit Enter. We are now in the index portion of the VLOOKUP, even though the tooltip here is only showing that we're in the search key. I think it's because we're nesting so much in here, the engine might not be following along very well. So in the example that I showed you before, I only used column 2. But because we're nested within our array formula here, I'm going to add a curly bracket, which will now allow us to return more than one column. Array formula allows you to return rows and columns. So the same way that we're able to stack something next to our query, we also have the ability to return multiple results as long as our VLOOKUP is nested within array formula the way that it is. So we're going to have 2, 3. So what will happen then is column B and C will be returned because we are using our array formula here. So we're going to close off our curly brackets here. So you can see we have curly bracket, and then we're selecting the fields we want to return. We're going to add a comma, and we're going to add our final optional argument, which is whether or not it is sorted. I apologize. I hit enter prematurely there. After we do false, we are going to hit command enter, and then we are going to use a closing parentheses for our VLOOKUP, and then a closing parentheses for our array formula, and then we can hit enter. And now you can see that we have successfully returned our query statement along with our lookup functions. This solution is not as clean as a join would be from SQL, but this is one way that I've discovered in order to mimic that join functionality that you get in a traditional SQL database. I'm going to take a little bit more time here at the end in order to break out what's happening with that query function, but I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to learn more about query, array formula, VLOOKUP, or automating data work using Google Sheets, Google Drive, or Python, please check out my channel page. Now, for those of you who would like a little bit more of an explanation of what's going on here, I am going to isolate the array formula portion of my code. So I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to try pasting it in, and we'll see what happens. Cool. So you can see here we're just getting the results of column 2 and 3 from the lookups. If I add in a 1, we will then also return the name from our lookups. So what's happening here is I am going to remove all this stuff here, and I'm just going to look at our query. So our query is just returning the name column. So when we did our VLOOKUP with the array formula there, we returned thing and more. And the reason that we were successfully returning those results is because we were looking up against these names, which is the same structure as our base query that is selecting everything, right? So instead of returning everything, we just returned the name, and then we joined a VLOOKUP on it. So it's the same thing as just doing VLOOKUP, selecting the search key, selecting the lookups range, and then adding in curly bracket 2, 3, curly bracket, false. Now you'll notice in this implementation of the VLOOKUP, even though we've added in that curly bracket here, we are only getting one result. Now the reason for that is because we need to wrap this VLOOKUP in array formula. Once we add in that array formula, you can see that it then returns an array result. So to summarize, we leveraged our query statement and isolated the name, which is the common key between our data tab and our lookups tab. We then used an array formula in order to look at all of the results that were returned from our query statement, and then we used VLOOKUP with a nested array in order to return multiple columns. If you have any questions, my email is linked on my channel page, and like I said, please use the comments section. This is a new thing that I'm experimenting with, and I think it's helpful. But if there's anything that's confusing or has bugs or is flawed, I'd love to hear about it. I view this as an educational channel, and I don't know everything, but I assume that if I put things out, we all get something back. So I hope you found it helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you.